It's the Islamic fundamentalist way, isn't it? Like make your banger propaganda videos with all your AI, make all your speeches about how you're gonna rain hellfire on your enemies, and then step three, die. Just die. Like that's all that happened. How many generals and top officials of Iran lost in the last 24 or 48 hours? But man, what a stupid regime. It's blown my mind. It has blown my mind how insane it is to just scroll through this website. It's so crazy. There is this whole trend right now where, again, it's like these people don't care about reality. They don't care. And it's also, there's so much more of a convergence happening because it wasn't just. So when I see Israel and Iran popping off with each other, I expect to see the likes of Suleiman Ahmed or Jackson Hinkle, like them. They're all taking the side of Iran, obviously. Like they're not like both sides are civilians. They're not thinking about, oh, I don't really like the Iranian regime, but at least they do support the Palestine. It's not that anymore, right? Now it's like full on throated campism. For Iran, for the Iran, not for the country, okay? I'm talking about the regime, the Iranian regime, the one that is despised by its entire population. It's like one of not that many countries on earth, really, where the regime in power is actually like diametrically opposed to the political will and cultural like desires of the entire population. It's kind of insane, like how different the Iranian regime is from its population. And that's not even to mention the diaspora. It's like it's very, very insane. Uh, so I expect people like let me see. So I expect people like Jackson Hinkle to come out with all of this deranged, full-throated support for the IRGC. What I don't really expect is like this overlap. So Hinkle, obviously, there's also this whole trend right now of AI pictures and enhanced photographs or single frames being taken to make it look like the damage is so much worse than it is. And some of it is so obvious. There have been so many ridiculous claims made about this whole response from Iran. So TLDR, Iran responded to the Israeli strikes yesterday with a series of like 3 or 4 waves of ballistic missile attacks on Israel, firing like a few hundred shots each time with like very massive weapons, like big ballistic missiles. And the overwhelming majority of them have been stopped. Like the overwhelming majority of them were intercepted either over Jordanian airspace or by the Americans or by Israel's Arrow system, not the Iron Dome, the Arrow system. The Iron Dome doesn't intercept ballistic missiles. The Iron Dome is for Katyusha rockets and for Qassam rockets. Okay, it's not the Iron Dome. So again, journalist, whatever Russian propaganda hack paid going to Yemen and glazing the Houthis in speeches. The Iron Dome doesn't do this. This was the Arrow system that does this. But anyway, there have been so many bizarre claims. Yeah, the number of recorded impacts that I was able to find, it seems like between sort of 8 and 12 at the most, probably less than 12. That seems to be how many of these ballistic missiles actually struck and impacted. One of them seems to have gone quite close to. This is the famous old IDF base or the IDF headquarters building that is in the middle of Tel Aviv, which people say is like a human shielding effort, even though when you go there, 2 problems with that. One, when ballistic missiles are fired over to Israel, Israel does not prohibit people from leaving their areas that are near the military targets, okay? Israel gives out siren warnings and warnings on people's phones. There's a whole app for it called SOFAR, and instructions for people to go into bomb shelters. They don't tell people stay in your house, which is inside the military base or underneath it or above it. Like they don't do that. This is a separate building, distinct with a perimeter, the walled perimeter with like barbed wire to climb over. So yeah, this is not the same as anything you would see from Hamas or Hezbollah or anything else. In any case, one of these things landed fairly close. other ones did not land so close to their targets, unless this was the target, because this is an image of Rishon, which, if you're on a map, is not too far from Tel Aviv, but it's far enough that I don't really know which military installation is supposed to be in this little area down here. But this is just a regular neighborhood. Look at that damage. So from this particular strike, including the other ones, I think 3 Israelis are dead. 2 of them died in this strike, another one somewhere else, and dozens are injured. A few ballistics and mostly Houthi missiles from Yemen have hit Palestinian neighborhoods in the West Bank, so standard. You think they were aiming for the Palmakim air base that's near Rishon? Well, stands to testament that Iran is not very good at aiming their weapons, because this is not any of this. There's no air base for at least a few hundred meters away from this target. But yeah, that's the Iranian counterattack. And I expect people like Hinkle or Suleiman Ahmed to praise this and to glaze and bounce over it, because again, they don't care about helping Palestinians, they care about hurting Israelis. They think these two mean the same thing, even though I don't really know how anyone in Gaza or the West Bank is helped by this damage. I don't think they are. No one in Iran is any safer because of this. Like, Iran's air defense system, it's just been announced today, is completely as good as dead. Like, Israel has full control over Iranian airspace or full superiority. So this doesn't help that. But it's also Zay Squirrel, like people like this, which is, again, interesting because these people are treated as reliable sources by the likes of Hassan, Mike from PA. And this tweet is just insane. Was it? Iran has launched its first retaliatory strike against the genocidal Israeli death cult. Missiles are directly impacting Tel Aviv right now. We need to see more than just buildings destroyed. We need numbers, high numbers. Deterrence must be reestablished now. It's psychotic. Why do you want Israeli civilians to die? What's wrong with this? Is more genocidal than anything any liberal has ever said ever. It's ridiculous. Oh, here's obviously the human shield argument again, because that's what Israel does, you know? They tell people not to leave the military headquarters when there's a strike going on. So dumb. You think this is going to cause deterrence? Mate, how? This was quite an interesting development as well. This is Iranian state media with a total zinger.
تحلیلگران جهان خشم خود را از آغاز یک جنگ دیگر توسط این رژیم ابراز کردند.
من دیگه حالم از اسرائیل و اونهایی که اعمالش رو عادی سازی و یا توجیه میکنن به هم میخوره. این کشور تشنه خونه و مشابهی نداره.
من به همه هشدار دادم که اگر ترامپ به قدرت برسد همین اتفاق میافتد و به همین دلیل به او رأی ندادم.
با مخابره تصاویر آثار حملات صهیونیست‌ها به منازل مسکونی و تحلیلگران جهان.
Just a bit of Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens on the Iranian state media. Yeah, I'm happy for him. I'm happy he's found somewhere. He's found someone. I think that's good, isn't it? Because he's been very isolated these days. The Kanye Sneeko thing didn't really work out. A lot of the neo-Nazis hate him. A lot of other people who used to be Groypers hate him. Obviously, all the conservative people, like the Charlie Kirks and the mainstreamers, hate him. He's found something though. It's good. It's good. But again, it's like, the reason I'm showing this in particular is because I want you to try and spot the difference between this and what you're seeing from the lefties. Like,
house music, all right, drones bombing Israel. Time to party and celebrate. What do you want to be? 30 to 40 minutes. Let's go, dude. Supreme leader. Supreme
so
leader.
Happy.
Oh, I mean,
Dr. Strangelove Nazi scene.
Let's go. We're back. We're back in town. We're back in business. This is it, guys.
White girl music. I've been saying this for many years, okay? Nick Fuentes is a fabulous theater kid closeted gay zoomer. That's what Fuentes is. Yes.
We did everything right. Now I'm on the outside. So you give me no
This is it, guys.
reason
This is why we play
for
the
me to
game.
stay
This is why we play the game. This is why we do it, okay? Drone attack imminent. You know, they're not going to get away with this. They will not get away with this, I vow. No, we're kidding, of course. No, but we hate it. We hate war. We don't want war. We don't want Shahed drones to kamikaze strike Israel's nuclear plants. I would hate that.
I like how there's still no delusion. They're not going to get away with this. It's like, obviously they will. Yeah. It's the classic, it's the epitome. I mean, at least Iran managed to do something. You know, that's usually a change. They got close. They did some, I believe they did some damage to one of the IDF headquarters. So that's something, I guess. That's refreshing. You can tell they're trying to hit something valuable. They're trying. They're trying to almost fight within the Geneva Conventions to make it look like they're trying. It's just like, I look at all this shit, man. These fucking fake, exaggerated damage reports. They're everywhere.
تقارب 1500 كيلومتر. هذه الصواريخ عبرت خلال دقائق، مما يعني أننا نتحدث عن سرعات عالية جدا، فهي تستغرق حوالي 10 دقائق أو 12 دقيقة لتصل إلى هدفها بسرعة تتراوح بين 6000 و 7000 كيلومتر في الساعة، مما يشير إلى احتمال أن تكون صواريخ فرد صوتية، لكن نوعها الدقيق لم يعرف بعد. بالنسبة لعمل الصواريخ الباليستية، فهي تنطلق تقليديا في مسار قوسي من الأرض، تبدأ بمرحلة الدفع، ثم ينفصل المحرك خلال مرحلة التحليق ليكمل الرأس الحربي مساره، ثم يدخل فيما يسمى بمرحلة إعادة الدخول. أما إذا كانت إيران قد استخدمت صواريخ.
How much of the headquarter was damaged? I don't know if it was the headquarter, but I believe the outside of one of the buildings was damaged, like the exterior, like just the exterior. It's just like it's the Islamic fundamentalist way, isn't it? Like make your banger propaganda videos with all your AI, make all your speeches about how you're going to rain hellfire on your enemies, and then step 3, die. Just die. Like that's all that happened. How many generals and top officials have Iran lost in the last 24 or 48 hours compared to Israel lost 1 civilian or 3 civilians, I'm sorry. Fucked up, man. What a stupid regime. We've had a little bit more revelation though, I guess. The IRGC, they obviously claimed to have been aiming for military assets and bases, and I don't doubt that they were. The problem is that they're firing these ballistic missiles that are not particularly good at aiming, and obviously that's a problem. If you can't aim your weapon, if you don't have a reasonable expectation that it's going to strike your target, then I don't know, not very kosher, we might say. There's also a few bogus claims. They keep on claiming to have shot down Israeli jets. I haven't seen any decent evidence for this. I've seen like them using, there's one video that they used from 2015 that they just like changed the color of a little bit. They just darkened it to make it look different. And there's AI videos running amok right now. There's claims of captured pilots, but again, evidence not very sustainable so far. Like stories about some IDF pilots having to eject and land somewhere and going missing. But again, it's just like the most weak, like, impotent information war that doesn't really seem to be yielding any real results. But I do wonder why the AI trend is so popular, because it's so unconvincing, isn't it? Is it not like freakishly unconvincing? A lot of these strikes and a lot of these videos, like you see I don't know if I can even find them now, but it's like you see a video of the actual strike, and then someone has clearly like superimposed a mushroom cloud over it to make it look like something's happened. You've got this guy is trying to say that the Israeli army spokesperson is nervous because his hand like did that a little bit. Look at this.
بعد الهجمات الإيرانية العدوانية على تل أبيب بعد الهجمات الإيرانية العدوانية على تل أبيب بعد الهجمات الإيرانية العدوانية.
Well, that's a nervous shake, clearly, obviously. What the fuck? 7,000 likes. There's a real drugs tweaking. I guess you got some other memes as well, like obviously the Iranian aim versus the Israeli, obviously. Yeah. Accuracy is kind of important. How did they do this, man? They just fired through a wall outside the building and hit this one apartment? Like, it's crazy. Also, who the fuck is living here? Is this like a nice flat? Who's in here? Those are anxiety pockets. Facts. Well, I mean, they might as well just do this, right? Like, this is at least cute. This is very Sundowner coded. I would not be surprised if he had made this. It's like the same in Lebanon as well. In Lebanon, in the south, you can see the rockets flying over from the distance, or people in cafes like dancing around, just watching rockets get lobbed back and forth. Absolute state. But it does look like a pretty horrible calculation from Iran. I don't look at this, man. It's crazy. That's a real picture. Okay, you don't need fake pictures. This is insane. Like, that's a whole ass city. Yeah, videos of Gazans celebrating, and it doesn't look like very big numbers, but, you know, obviously. They do see it as some kind of relief, I guess. But I don't know, man. The way people are handling this shit is so bizarre. Like, what is this? What the fuck is this? Go to the shelters, you cowards. I don't believe these are official accounts, a lot of these. They're very popular, though. 35,000 likes. Just a bunch of rats in a tunnel. Okay, like the projection and shit. Okay. They're still firing rockets from Gaza. Barely any. I think it's like every couple of weeks, maybe like less than a handful gets fired over. But yeah, it's all getting pretty sad right now, because we know that Israel's campaign against Iran is part of a long-drawn campaign. Like, it's going to take them, they said, at least a few days, maybe weeks, because they're just going after the entire nuclear program by the looks of it. And now that they've got Iran in probably the most vulnerable position that they're ever going to be in, I don't really see why they're going to wait until any other time. They're not going to wait until any other time. So you got Israel Katz talking about how Tehran is going to burn, but I don't really know how that's any different from what they were going to do anyway. They were going to attack these facilities and these officials. I think Netanyahu has said he's going after the Ayatollah himself now as well, if they can get him. I don't know. I imagine the Ayatollah is probably a little bit better hidden than the other ones. I don't know if he's like in a mountain or something. If he's gone caving. But it's a little bit of crash out going on. Some damage assessments from the IAF. We dealt serious damage to nuclear facilities. IAF operating in Tehran strikes. Here are some of the Israeli civilians who were killed. Whatever. And Netanyahu looking normal, looking sane. Okay. This is an intercepted or a fallen drone in Syrian territory. This is the Syrian security officials inspecting the remains of an Iranian drone. This is Rishon, just outside Tel Aviv. After the ballistic missile landed. That's quite a lot of damage, dude. Striking Tehran. But the damage to Iran looks pretty bad. The damage to the Iranian facilities looks not great. I think there are still, I don't know if they're fully confirmed, but there are still reports of radioactive leakage in Natanz, although I don't think it's going to be quite, I don't think it's the same as like striking a power plant, but who knows. Fucking TOS, oh my god, copyright. Tel Aviv mayor, why is this? Okay, thank you. That's silly. I don't know why you give me that. Did he just do that as like is that like the Tel Aviv mayor did that? Weird. Weird. In other news, there's not really much else to say. I don't know, like Iran has done a counterstrike that I guess has done more damage than their last ones had. With roughly the same amount of missiles though, so that's, I don't know if they just got more lucky or if they figured out the weaknesses in the arrow system better. Maybe if they have more accurate missiles. But in any case, it seems like the bombing campaign from Israel is going to carry on. They're just going to carry on trying to achieve their objectives, and they've got full air superiority now, so they're just going to keep going. I don't know if Iran has much more of these particular strikes in their pocket yet. Will Israel respond? It's weird because, well, they were going to strike Iran anyway, so I don't know if their response is going to get entangled with... Because they're responding to a response in a way, right? So I don't know if their response is going to get added on top of what they were going to do anyway. It's hard to tell. Quite hard to tell. What kind of things do you expect Israel to hit? They're probably just going to keep going after leadership, military bases, and nuclear facilities. They might also target, yeah, oil and gas. Yeah. Because I think half of oil and gas in Iran is owned by the IRGC. So obviously it's got some kind of like military significance. Will the USA be involved? Troops sent into Iran? No, there's no sign of that yet, I don't think. Not that I've seen. They're targeting oil and gas right now. Whoa. Well, okay. Goddamn. Wow. Breaking news. Wow.